Hello and welcome to another edition of the TimeFlies podcast. I am your host, Dario. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you can see that I have a special guest in the building virtually. I got the grand return of my guy, Neil. Neil, what's good, bro? How you been?
Yo, I'm good, bro. How you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yo, it's been a minute since we saw each other. It's been a minute since we actually had one of these podcast episodes together. The last time we saw each other, we actually saw in concert the guy that we're talking about in today's episode. We
Yo,
saw Bryson Tiller. Where was that concert? Do you remember exactly where it was? Because I
it
forgot.
was it was in Manhattan on the
Right.
Lower East Side
Oh,
on
it was at Pier 54 or something like
there
that.
you go. Pier
Yeah.
something. Pier with a number.
Back in I'm Better tour or something like
Yes.
that.
I thought the way he sounded was unique because in outside events, usually it's hard for singers when they're outside
Mm,
because the voice ain't staying in a box to where it can like reflect nice. Like if he was in a small theater.
I didn't even
So
think
he was
about that.
outside with a little bit of he uses a lot of the pitch correction in his music. You could hear it on certain pitches he hits. You can hear like the harmony of the
Mm,
whatever his engineer does, which is super fire, right? Whatever he does to the voice, he has on the microphone or knows how to control it with his voice, and it still sounded crisp in an
mm.
outside venue. So that's fire.
I was at the
Front, front,
front.
front,
I
front,
was
front, front.
like literally like the first row. I made sure I had my day off that day, so I made sure I got there early just to make sure. And
Yep,
then you went there with your now fiance. So
yep.
you got there later, and then we met up after and we got a drink and whatnot.
I think he did good for the budget that his label is probably giving him.
Which is, what do you think?
It's probably a cheap. You saw the stage. It's probably a cheap budget. That stage didn't cost much.
I kind of agree with you, but at the same time, like he had shit on that stage. He had like all those
100%.
lights right behind him where they like it looked like a bunch of TV sets. I'm not sure, maybe it was that or I could be
It was
remembering
a
it wrong.
no. You're 100% right. It was a video game set.
Exactly.
The video game set, which is true to him. He
100%.
literally likes video games more than music.
I'm definitely gonna talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, no, 100%. And to me, it didn't look cheap.
It's so not cheap in the sense of regular people money, right? But
Right.
in the sense of what a label has, it was cheap if you think about an EDM concert. How many, bro, for 40 minutes? They
Right.
have so many fucking lights and going crazy, and the big ass stage and all that, and like their fixtures are crazy.
Right.
He had a couple TVs with video games, and he's doing a lot with a little, which is good to him.
That's interesting though, because he's what? He's on Epic, I believe. No, he's on RCA.
RCA, which give the artist a lot of money, I heard.
RCA, which is a subdivision of Sony Music, and RCA, they're kind of known for their R&B acts. I think they're pretty much like running the R&B game right now. And if you ask me, he should be one of the title, one of the lead artists
Yep.
in that label. So it's very interesting how you broke all that down. And yeah, I mean,
I would love to know where he ranks. Because if they're leading the charge in R&B, that means they got more acts that are R&B, and I would love to know his ranking on that.
I
Like who's
mean,
number one? Is it her? Because I know her might be on there. So her is definitely gonna rank over him. They be putting her on award shows. They put her on. I wonder if it's not a talent thing, if it's a thing of like, yeah, Bryson plays video games.
and see, the thing is that Bryson, the album before this was Anniversary, and that was 2021. And I think in between, like he put out like little projects. I think he put out Killer Instinct, which is kind of like a little mixtape where he's just rapping like crazy, which Bryson Tiller is able to do.
Yep.
So it's kind of hard to gauge where Bryson Tiller ranks within RCA because when he does come out, I
Hmm.
do feel that the push behind the label is with him. But the thing
Hmm.
is that when he actually drops, then there's like an extended period of time in between projects where it's kind of like, okay, you're here, but after you drop, the more time you wait, you little by little, you're going down the rank of the acts.
You hit it right on the head because I think it's because he's introverted. I wouldn't even. It might not even be the label. The label might be pitching things to him, and he's like, "No, nah, I'm introverted. I don't really want to do late night or Fallon." It could
And
be that.
yeah. And then just to add a little bit more to that point, he in the promotion of this album, he went to Complex, I believe it was, and they had like a little TikTok or whatever, and they were asking him random questions. But one of the things he said was that like he's gonna chill for a minute after this album drops.
Yep.
And he said to your point earlier, he's like he wants to focus on video games. He wants to get an internship with a premier like video game company.
Yep.
And he also wants to spend more time with his daughters because he's tired of telling them that daddy has to work and they're getting older and he
Yep.
wants to
When he's
experience things.
mhm.
So I don't know how long this wait period is gonna be in between this project and the next one he's gonna put out, but it kind of goes hand in hand with what we've been saying that like there's gonna be some time in between the projects, and now we're probably gonna see him like as far as like if he's still gonna be on RCA, we're gonna see how low he falls on a totem pole. But I don't know, man. I'm happy that he dropped this project. I'm a little sad to hear that he's gonna take a break after he dropped the project.
Oh yeah.
But if you're listening to this and watching this, first and foremost, thank you very much. The album did drop, I think like maybe mid or end of April.
Mhm.
So it's been a little bit of time. The thing is that I was going through like a big move and stuff, so I had a lot going on, so I couldn't really get the podcast episode out when the album dropped. But now that Neil and I have had some time to really digest the album, listen to it, I definitely want to get your takes. I want to get your thoughts about this album. Talk to me about what were you hoping for? What were
Mhm.
you expecting from this album, if anything?
From the amount of songs that I liked for the percentage of songs on there, I definitely give it like a B. It definitely gets a B for sure.
No,
A
I'm
B
dead.
is solid because you got to
No.
think about it, right? What's an A plus? Confessions, right?
Uh-huh.
An A plus is Confessions.
You just sounded so disappointed when you said.
No, no, I am disappointed. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I
Oh,
was disappointed.
talk to me.
Because the songs that are fire are heat, and I got them written down. Your first album, do literally do your style the best. You're gonna do your style the best on a first album. Second album, it's like, all right, can you still maintain that? And third album is like, okay, reinvent yourself a little bit and try different things, and we're gonna see if you really like what's up. That's how I feel. How the artists who do really succeed, they do stuff like that. I feel like that's how their albums go, and then they do whatever from there. I don't really know. So I liked one, two, three, four, five, six, seven out of the 19, but it's probably like a couple interludes in there. So
What are the
that's a good
songs?
amount. So we got Attention, then
Fire.
Persuasion, then Chow, then Peace Interlude, then Ram,
Yeah, Ram is fire.
then No Thank You,
Mhm.
and Calypso.
Damn, that's
And then,
it?
and then Whatever She Wants is like that was out for like ever before the album came out, right? And
Yeah.
outside is cool. And outside is cool. But I can't listen to it over and over again because that beat is like I just start whispering to myself.
Shout out Yin Yang Twins. But
Yeah.
yo,
I saw
so
Yin Yang.
Outside
That's a
came
lot.
out. Yeah, Outside came out literally like a year prior to the album. That was his very first single.
Yep.
So my question to you is, when that song dropped as a single,
Yep.
did you like it automatically or it took you a little bit of time?
Songs like that are hard to judge because I feel like they're cheat codes. When you take a hit that was such a hit and you put the beat on it, it's almost like just don't ruin the song at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? It's hard to
O-
judge.
Okay, so now my next question is, what about Outside within listening? When you were listening to the album, did you like it more as you were listening to the album? Did you like the placement, or your feelings were kind of the same when you heard that song within the rest of the album? You feel me?
Ooh, that's a real good question because if you ask me that, the album should have ended at like Waterfalls. When he starts like it gets real slow. Isn't Waterfalls like really slow? I don't listen. I didn't like that song, but it's mad slow, right?
Damn, man. So you said seven out of the 19?
Yeah, probably realistically nine because outside and whatever she wants was out for so long
Right,
before.
right, right. Okay.
So like
Okay.
that's damn near half the album.
Yeah, man. I mean, I like a lot of songs. So I like Attention. I like Stay Gold. I like Chow. I like Peace Interlude. I like Rich Boy. I like Random Access Memory. I like No Thank You. I
Hmm.
like Calypso. I like F for You.
Uh-huh.
And then, like you said, whatever she wants and outside, I do like them, but they were out forever prior. Listen, man, going into this album, I was first of all, Anniversary, fire to me.
Yeah.
Anniversary was crazy, especially coming off of True to Self, which he has said in a lot of interviews that he absolutely hated that album because he was in a state of confusion. He was trying to prove things to a lot of different people. That's when he was reading a lot of comments about himself. And it's
Yeah.
ironic because the album is true to self, but he wasn't staying true to self when he actually put out the album. So
Mhm.
that was the album. Yeah, it was probably like a C. It definitely had moments on the album, but it just wasn't. I don't think it was a good album.
Mm-mm.
And then after that, he had Anniversary. Anniversary is a straight up banger that came out like in 2021, I believe. Yeah, 2021. So we were still dealing with COVID. The one thing I remember for the promotion for this album, he kept saying that like he wants people to think of him as not just an R&B artist. He wanted people to look at him as a musical artist. And he said that there was going to be different things on this album that's really going to open your eyes to Bryson Tiller, the artist.
Yeah.
And if that was his goal, if we're sticking with that, if that was his goal, I think he did a good job. Because now diving into the album, there are a lot of different sounds on this album. You got your traditional R&B songs,
Mhm.
and then you have songs that are like fucking KTU.
Yeah.
Let me just turn on the radio, and it's like, okay, this song's gonna play on the radio.
Yeah.
And then we have a song like Ciao. So last night I was looking up some of his interviews in promotion of this album. Ciao is classified as a drill song. Did you like, what does that say to you? Did you kind of feel that? Or did you think Chow was in like a different lane as far as like a genre of a song? Because I didn't Chow is not a drill song to me. Chow to me sounds like a song like you listen to on KTU. It's just like one of those like upbeat kind of like house party songs.
I thought this would be the radio song.
What?
But that you mentioned radio song. Which one did you say you thought would be the radio single?
I mean, Chow. Chow is definitely one of the ones that I thought would be a radio single. Calypso is definitely another one.
I was seeing how many streams he was getting I was seeing how many streams he was getting on the songs, and it was a couple of, he had a couple 100 million here and there.
For the album or specific songs?
Specific songs. And the biggest song, surprisingly, of the newer one, like how we were talking about the songs that have been out forever outside of whatever she want, excluding those,
Right.
Attention.
Attention.
Attention was up there for plays.
That's literally the second song on the album. That song,
So Chow has 26 million and Attention has 16 million.
when I heard Attention, I was like, oh, we're getting fucking Anniversary.
See,
We're
this is
getting Trap Soul.
this is where artists fuck up. You can't give me Attention and then give me the rest of that album. I like the other songs, they're cute, but Attention is snooze level.
Did you like Attention?
Yeah, it's the best song on the album. It's not even like close to me. Because Attention is like snooze. Attention has like that replay value. It has that crack in it to where it's like, oh, I could just always it doesn't get annoying. Like turn this off my ears.
Yeah, I know. Attention, yo, the way he opened up that album with Attention, I was like, bet we're getting Anniversary, we're getting Trap Soul, and then after Attention, he goes to Stay Gold, which is a slower song, and then like little by little, he starts just adding different genres of music into the album. And yeah, I don't know, man. The research that I was doing last night, and they were talking about Chow specifically. The interviewer asked him, he was like, "Where did the drill influence come for Chow?" And I'm like, "Drill? What the fuck?"
Did he answer it seriously?
And then he answered it, and he answered it like, "Yeah, drill is something that's going on right now, and I wanted to infuse it within this album." And I'm like, "Oh shit! Like, okay, I guess it's classified as a drill
Maybe,
song."
maybe there's something we're missing because that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. So that shit really took me aback. But I mean, my expectations for this album, like I wasn't really. I just wanted music from Bryson, and I'm glad that I got the music from Bryson. And I thought he was gonna go in a little bit of a direction, but again, in the promotion for this album, he just kept saying how he wanted people to look at him as a musical artist
Mhm.
and not just an R&B artist. So as far as that, he succeeded.
Mhm.
But now you get into the conversation of like what what do you think about the Bryson Tiller fans? Do you think that they accept this album? Do you think that they kind of wanted something a little different? Like, talk to me from your perspective. Like, what are your feelings about this album after you've listened to it?
There's a couple things because it depends on the style of song. I feel like Attention. I'd be curious to see the writers, but I would Attention. I feel like that's the type of song he wants to make. He's the type of artist. It's really I feel like it's almost easy to feel like he didn't want to make a song and he just had to put it on the album. Like literally, the end of the album feels like, all right, I got to put these on here to get to this certain amount of
And you feel
time limit or something. Like a
and you
couple of
feel
the
Attention
songs,
was that?
Attention, I feel like is a song he wants to make.
Oh, word.
That's like the type of song he wants to do. And then he does a song like Assume the
Assume the
Position. It's
Position.
like, bro, you made this to be on Glee.
It's horrible.
You didn't want to make that. Your label was like, yo, you have to be on Nickelodeon. So you have to make this. And put like a gun to his head. Like straight up, honestly.
Yo, did you listen to the lyrics of that song though? That song is kind of graphic.
Yeah, he's going. I don't know what's going on.
Yo, that song reminds me of Can't Feel My Face by The Weeknd because like the song is so poppy. It's so
Yeah,
like 13-year-old girl, like this is my
yeah.
birthday party song.
And then
But
going crazy.
yeah, but then when you listen to the lyrics, it's like put your mouth around my Glock and then I'm gonna shoot. It's like
Yeah,
what?
yeah. Like who?
Dog, it's such a, like a juxtaposition as far as like the feeling of the song to what he's actually saying. But yeah, I fucking hate that song because that song is like I said, it's so like radio. It's so trying to be a radio song.
So you can tell when he does that, and I don't like that. And that's the type of thing to where that was good when you said the RCA thing because once you're off the label, maybe we might get another album where it's Attention and it's 7 songs because he's introverted as fuck. It's 7 to 5 songs and it's all attention like, and that's what we get. And he goes back to streaming video game.
So you're saying maybe in like a couple years he's gonna pop out with a EP of like a 5 to 6 songs with straight attention bangers.
Yo, this is for my fans. I'm sorry I've been going so long. Cause after you're going so long, right? After you're going so long, who are the only people there? Are the fans that know you. It's not
The
going to
di-
be the outside poppy people that wanted you for that one little cheesy ass song.
the
So
diehards.
yeah, so hopefully he knows that, and then he plays Apex Legends because that's what he plays. He plays fucking Apex Legends. He goes and he streams Apex Legends, and he fucking comes back with R&B bops.
If you had to pick one favorite song, the song from this album, is it Attention for you?
Yeah, attention, ciao, and no thank you. No thank you has that like Drake replay bop value on it.
And you ranked them. So you said Attention, you said Ciao, and then No Thank You. That's your
Yeah,
ranking?
yeah, because ciao you can play around people that don't even know who Bryson Tiller is, and they're gonna be like, oh shit, this is fire. Sound is just friendly to your ears, and then it starts bopping. That shit's heat. And then Persuasion's probably number 4 because that's
I
just fucking
was I was just gonna mention Persuasion with Victoria Monet because that song they did it like a little wordplay. They're like talking about how like Victoria Monet, I think in her chorus, she's just playing around with different kind of like sexual innuendos.
yup.
Um I'm not sure exactly what songs were the actual singles. I'm not sure what songs actually played on radio because I don't really listen to radio anymore. I
Yep.
do think Persuasion is one of those songs that played on Hot 97 and Power 105.
Hmm.
I like it, but it's not one of my favorites. You said
It can get played out quick. When you first hear it the first couple times, you like it, and then it's like, all right, like I'm cool off the Persuasion.
and then another song that he took the outside route where he sampled Yin Yang Twins. He did Rich Boy
Yep.
and he sampled Throw Some D's on It by Rich Boy, which came out like early 2000s.
Yep.
How do you feel about that? Do you like hearing Bryson in that pocket when he's like rapping?
Nope.
No?
No. It's the same Drake effect to where it's like we all know you're not tough, so you better do a really good job of being tough.
Yeah, but he's not rapping about killing guys and he's not rapping about having mob ties. He's just rapping.
No, of course, but it's the tone. Don't give me that tone. Like, hey, bro, if a 5'2" dude comes up to you and starts barking at you and is saying like aggressively, but isn't cursing and not threatening you, you're gonna be like, all right, cut it out, puppy chow.
So what do you
Relax.
so what do you feel about whatever she wants? Because he's rapping there.
But Rich Boy, you think like you think like Louisiana, like dirt road in South Carolina or something. Like I'm not thinking of Bryson in it. I don't know. It didn't fit in the album. Like it's kind of weird.
Rich Boy? You saying Rich Boy didn't really fit?
It's a good song, but it's weird for the album. Like it's like
Okay.
it comes out of no, I don't nah,
Okay. Oh,
not for him. Not for him.
okay. And what? Okay. So talk to me about your feelings about whatever she wants.
Fire bop.
And is
Fire bop,
rapping?
the bop, like you could dance to that. You can't dance to Rich. Try to catch a dance bop to Rich Boy with all that
Pass.
skipping in the beat. But
Definitely.
whatever she want, you could two step with a girl.
So you just wouldn't have Bryson rapping. You want R&B straight attention,
No, no,
straight.
he can rap, but don't give me the like right. Andre 3000 raps, right? But the
Yeah.
tone is never aggressive and like
Facts.
um it's never a Rich Boy. That's what I'm saying. Like just fix your tone, fix your face when you look at me.
Did you know that he was doing like a little thing on SoundCloud where he was dropping songs on like Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I think? It was called Tiller Tuesdays or Tiller Wednesdays. And some of the songs well, actually most of the songs they did not end up on the album, but he was just like putting out songs on SoundCloud just to promote the album. And so I'm guessing you didn't see it.
I didn't hear about that. Or some of them fire?
Yo, I'm fucking so disappointed in myself because like I always told myself that I was gonna go back and listen to it,
Yeah.
and I never ended up going back. But dude, there's like a good amount of songs. There's like maybe like 10 songs that he put out prior to this
So he
album.
has his own. Okay, so it's on his SoundCloud.
It's on his SoundCloud, yeah. And I'm not sure if it's like just rap. I'm not sure if it's just R&B. I'm not sure if it's like a mix of the two. Having said all of that, I'm saying that he put a lot of promotion into this album. And do you remember like his Instagram posts when he's like in the lab and he's dressed up as a
Hmm.
scientist and he's
Yep.
like putting together I think like another human being, which ends up being Bryson Tiller.
Yep.
And yeah, man, like he was just putting a lot of energy behind this project, and I just don't know how I feel about it, bro.
But I just feel like even in the video game space, right? Like, why, if he plays video games, why isn't he like? I didn't see anything to where he's even playing with another big streamer. Like that would be such a big help because they've seen that like it doesn't translate into album sales when you're on with a big streamer. It doesn't mean like it doesn't mean like people are gonna go buy your album, but it's just like staying viral. Like maybe something happens while you're playing the video game, and then it goes viral. It's a viral clip that you have forever. Like there's
Mm.
certain people like Joe Budden who's famous forever just because of certain pictures he took back in the day. Because people love to roast him so much, he was able to flip it into a successful podcast because he's more viral than how many rappers have there been since him? But why him, right?
Yeah, no.
Why was he the chose one of all of these rappers that throughout history? It's because he was just like memeable, right place, right time. So it's just like if you put yourself out there enough, you could become that, and then you don't really have to. But I feel like that's what really it is. Putting yourself out there with the you could do all of the other stuff with the Instagram posts and all that's great, but there's something else you got to do to like put yourself out there with that when your label ain't putting you on billboards and shit. Like how come you don't have a billboard in Times Square? That's too I heard from the grapevine it's 250 to 300,000. Why
For a
didn't they put up that
billboard in Times Square?
yeah, for like the day or something like that, it's like 250 to 300,000.
I thought it would be more expensive than that. I thought it would
That's
be
what I'm
like,
saying.
yeah, I thought it would be like minimum 500 stacks,
Hmm.
200, 300 for a day. Wow, that's interesting.
Maybe since COVID inflation crazy, but yeah, it's around there. So the fact that his label can't even put that up, it's like you're not even gonna put that up for him. Like
Yeah, man. I mean, my overall feelings from the album is just like it's a nice body of work. I'm glad we got music from Bryson, but am I gonna go back to this album? I don't think so. I'm sticking with Trap Soul. I'm sticking with Anniversary, and it's sad that we're probably not going to hear from Bryson for a while since this album dropped. Like, what have you been playing on repeat? If you have been playing anything on repeat,
hmm call it? Attention, stay on repeat.
attention stays on
I
repeat.
got a whole R&B playlist where it's songs that I deem that don't get old. All you need for me for the album to reach a C level is you need one of those. If you have just one of those, then you damn, you show that you did it. You got a lavender sunflower like that, something like that, you did it. Good for you.
All right, so this next question might be a little difficult, so I'll go first. I'll give you some time, but I want you to rank this album within Bryson's discography as far as albums. I mean, it's pretty easy. So
I
tra
might have the same. I might have the same rank as you.
I mean, so you got as far as albums, Bryson has Trap Soul, he has Anniversary, he has True to Self, and he has this album. Um, my question to you is Trap Soul is technically a mixtape, right? When he dropped it back in
I'd
like
be
24.
lying. So far, going to classic. Trap Soul's classic.
Oh, so far gone as a mixtape, bro. But whatever.
Then is Trap Soul a mixtape?
Yeah, I feel you. No, okay. Wait. Yeah, yeah, no, I get it, I get it. It's just okay. Trap Soul's album. Okay, so Trap Soul, Anniversary, True to Self, and this album. So I got Trap Soul. I got Trap Soul number one, no question. I got Anniversary number two. I actually have this album at number three,
Yeah.
and then I got True to Self at number four. Man, yo, True to Self got moments though, bro. True to Self got
What
don't
happened?
True to Self got his lead single, Something Tells Me, which I fucking loved. That song We Both Know, which is super short, but I think it's fire. Something Tells Me, I think I'm not sure if I just mentioned that, but I do understand why people don't like that album, but True to Self
That
does have moments.
that album is bad. I only like one song on there. Set it off. Fire.
Set It Off is fire as well.
Fire. How did
Yeah.
you can't give me that song and then give me a rest of that dog shit.
Yeah, I get it.
Set It Off and Attention was on a whole nother level of like if you had to rank his songs from tiers, those are S tier songs. And what's the one from he has like three S tier songs on his first one.
Don't.
Don't S tier.
How about the
Exchange is the S tier.
Exchange? Yeah, no, Trap Soul is a fucking certified classic, bro.
So when
Trap,
you got those S tier songs on there, you got multiple S tier. You That's craziness.
yo, this might be, I don't know, this might be a little bit crazy take, but Anniversary to me is not that far back from Trap Soul. Like Trap Soul is like a pinnacle moment in the culture. Everybody regards it as a classic. To me, Anniversary, when that shit dropped, I fucking loved Anniversary, bro. I loved Anniversary.
I think I have a hot take about Anniversary because I do remember one song on there. Oh, Sorrows is really good. I
Sorrows is fire
um Out of Time with Drake. I
with
think Drake
Drake.
sabotaged him on purpose. Same thing Kanye did to Drake. Drake did to Bryson.
Meaning what? Can you dive a little deeper into it? Pause.
So Kanye sabotaged boy, Kanye sabotaged Drake's Find Your Love video because it's such a bad video. It's such bad
Right,
quality and the beat sounds like trash. So he
right.
sabotaged him. Kanye sabotaged him. And then on this song, Drake I can define you. Was he waking up out of bed, bro?
Okay,
He
okay.
sabotaged him on that song. He could have did a much better job.
Yeah,
The
I
fuck was he doing?
the one thing I remember about that song is that we don't get enough of Drake. Like it's featuring Drake, so I feel like that collab would have been a little bit more like just better. And that's the overall feeling I remember taking away from that song. It's like we didn't get enough of him. So yeah, I mean, I guess I agree with you.
And that's RCA also. Let me see what it says. RCA division. Yeah, like how you
Yeah.
gotta that's how you could really tell if a label's behind somebody. When you get a Drake feature and you still don't get a push. Like that's very telling.
Yeah, and they have a relationship there too because they like in interviews they always big each other up. They always say like Drake, that's the bro and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Drake says that he loves Bryson. So it's interesting how we don't have more songs, how it's interesting how we don't have more material from them. But yeah, no, man, that was my hot take. The Anniversary is not that far behind Trap Soul, but is that your ranking as far as Bryson's albums? Is the same thing?
Yeah, I got the same ranking. I got to go back to Anniversary and listen because Sorrows is super fire, and I feel like Things Changed is even super fire if I remember correctly.
So our ranking of this album is the same within Bryson Tiller's discography. So
Yeah.
my question to you is, it might be a little bit of a hard question to answer, but where does Bryson go from here? I mean, I told you that in his interview that he said that he's going to take a little bit of time away to spend time with his kids and also focus on gaming.
Hmm.
But what is that like? I feel like that could have real repercussions, bro. Like he's going to be gone And obviously music is going to continue. There's going to be more R&B acts coming up. Um, he
Hmm.
might be forgotten, bro, and I don't think that's a good thing for him because he's already introvert and people have to really seek him out. So I don't know. I don't know if him taking a step back right now is really a good idea, but to each his own.
Because when you're one of those independent artists to where like you're putting your sound out, I think it's called TuneCore. When you're putting your shit out on TuneCore or one of these platforms to where you're like you literally can make the money back, you don't need that many streams to be a halfway successful artist. And I think he's the type of person to where he got a big enough following now to where if he gets off his label and is literally independent, just releasing it like how he does on SoundCloud, but could get paid for it, I think he could still do his thing. You know, I just know if I'm think about it, right? If you were a rich person and you forgot about because some of these rich motherfuckers be having like singers come to their wedding and singers just do shit or they'll
Right.
have a party and be like, oh, I want to book so and so, right? If you're a rich person and you really like R&B, like me and you might book them. You might be like, yo, I got 20K for you to come do this, blah 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 blah, or 50 or whatever his price is, right? So he can still make a real good living. He definitely doesn't want to be famous. I think that's pretty clear. Like he just wants to be low key. So that would probably be the best thing for him. That's probably next for him. He's probably gonna do little like how he's probably gonna really release little 3 packs, 4 packs,
Yeah.
and be streaming, and you catch him on Twitch.
Yeah, I think no, I think you really bring up a good point as far as like he's happy with where he's at in his career. And that's one thing that he did keep saying promoting this album. He said that he was happy just where he's at in his career. He's not at a point where he's trying to prove everybody wrong. He's not listening to the critics. He's just doing what makes himself happy. So
Hmm.
you do bring up a good point about that. And I do agree that he might put out like little projects, like three song EPs, like here and there. But as
Yeah.
far as like a full length body, I don't think we're gonna see that for a minute. Um, and yeah, man, I mean, Bryson, we also got to remember that Bryson came from working at FedEx and I think he worked at Papa John's too.
Word.
So he literally went from being a nobody to just being thrust into the limelight. And when Trap Soul came, when he dropped, like that shit was such a moment in the culture, not even just in R&B, just in the culture. Everybody, I remember everybody on Instagram was posting it. Fabulous was posting it, all these different rappers. And that's
Yep.
how I got to know Bryson Tiller. So, I mean, as long as Bryson Tiller is happy, then that's all we can ask of from his fans.
Hmm.
But I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, if we're not gonna hear Bryson for like a year, like I honestly think we're not gonna hear from him at all for like the next minimum year,
Hmm.
which is kind of sucks because I want to hear Bryson, but
He might pull a Rihanna.
yeah, but see, the Rihanna is making money with Fenty. Bryson doesn't have that.
He might be making money with what's the FaZe Clan. He might be making money with FaZe Clan.
Bryson, we want to say thank you for this project. We want to say thank you for the music that you dropped. We do like it. But as far as fans, we have the right to critique it, give our opinions, give our thoughts. And it's not bad music, but it's just not higher up in your discography. We're always gonna be supporting you, but we gotta keep it real. So, my guy, Neil, I want to say thank you so much, man, for joining me on this episode, talking about the Bryson Tiller album, breaking it down, give me your takes, give me your thoughts. If you want to let everybody know where they can reach you, if you have any socials, let them know right now, my guy.
Yo, don't follow me.
Don't
Yo, you
follow.
want to tell the people out there, follow Tom Fly, follow Dario Con. Do you got your government up there? You do have your government. Follow Dario Content, Tom Flies, buy the merch, all that. Support the culture. If you see me on social media, go, I see that guy. And don't hit follow. Say, I know that guy from the pod, but don't hit it. So that's all I want to say. That's all I want to say.
Yo, my guy, appreciate the support. Yeah, just like Neil said, all the links will be in the description below. We got merch, we got Instagram, Twitter, we got Reddit, we got TikTok, all that stuff will be in the description. I'm working on a new shirt right now. I'm not gonna let you guys know in the next coming weeks. You'll see me promoting it. But guys, until next time, I want to say thank you so much for checking out this episode. If you're listening to this on any of the podcast streaming platforms, remember to remember to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe
Hit
to the
that shit.
channel. That'll be a really big help. But until next time, we'll check you out on the next episode of the Time Flies podcast. Peace.